All right. All right. Here we go. Welcome to the DMV Sports Show. I'm your host, Rasom McGee. It's Saturday. As you guessed it, it's Saturday to hear sports that you want to hear on your weekend. A somber summer Saturday, but nevertheless, it's an exciting Saturday for what we accomplish as Commander fans across the nation, across the earth, across the seas, and from birth. I'm your host, Rasom McGee. We got a lesson and a lineup and a sports news that you wouldn't believe. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders' last defeat, but never surrendered. We're going to talk about the Washington Wizards. They surrendered more than one time. We're also going to talk about the Washington Capitals and OVs and OVs and OV. No, not you. OV's chase for Wayne Gretzky's record. We're going to talk about. Yeah, I'll tell you about what's happening. And we're also going to talk about the Maryland Terrapins' surge defeat against the Wisconsin Badgers in NCAA history. We're also going to talk about.
You thought you get rid of me, huh?
We're also going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles and their hitters and pitcher rotation. Like I said, a lineup that you wouldn't believe. We got a panel that will help me out with a lot of these sports news going around the league. And yes, questions from you. Yes, the fans. 512-543-4662. So with that being said, let's start the show. Of course, congrats to the Commanders for reaching the championship. Nonetheless, fell short of the marker to relive this most absolutely horrendous game that should have been memorable. We'll go over what happened. Hopefully, in collections, not step by step. My thing about what I witnessed that night was an ill-prepared team with all the hype in the world. It was not that they wasn't prepared. They wasn't prepared for the second half. The first half, they were killing it. They were actually catching up. I knew that Saquon was going to get that first score. I knew that. As soon as we kicked that field goal, I knew Saquon was going to get that first touchdown. I anticipate that it was going to happen because we have the worst running defense in the league, ranked 18. We were also close enough to tie it and be down by 4. We were 23-34. Now, that was the second half. First half, it was 23. It was actually what? I think it was 17-20 something. I could be misrepresenting, the score a little bit there. But we had enough time to come back. We just kept running the same play previously that would have been beneficial to us when we won the game. But we kept running that same type of scheme. They knew what we're going to run. All they did was have Braun. Braun was the key factor. If Braun sees something, he would dictate to the defense where to move. That's what it was doing because Braun is a little bit faster. Well, not a little bit faster, but is equal to his speed of Jalen Daniels. So that's how he minimized Jaden Daniels' capabilities. And that's why they kept hitting him as soon as he took off. All they had to do was an end around. That left side was open all day, every day. But he didn't get a chance to throw to that left side. Now, running wise, we just kept running in the strength of the defense, which I do not understand for the life of me. You use the edges as you always do. But when they started to use the edges, that's when the fumbles happened. And that's why they punched the ball out of Eckler's hand. Now, they could have used a whole lot. I mean, I'm not the only one. And I spoke to a lot of Commander fans about this. And I kept telling them, and they agree with me, Dami Brown is not the guy. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, he had one bad game. No, he's been doing this all year round. Yes, he has when he scored a touchdown. That's when he ran for over 20-plus yards. But he's not like Terry McLaurin. He has to get into rhythm. If he's not in rhythm, then you shouldn't throw it to him. We have other wide receivers on the roster that can actually be that move the chain type of person. O'Shea, what's his name? KJ Oshie. He was with the New England Patriots. We could have used him, throw him into a cover 2 bubble, right? And then let him sit down and fall to the ground. He knows how to move the chains. He would know where the first down marker is. They knew that we were going to use majority of Zach Ertz all the time because that's their go-to guy when they can't get a third down. They knew that was going to happen. We don't have other than Zach and Terry. We need a slot receiver. We need a number 3 and a number 4. We don't have
We've been saying that.
Yeah, and they knew that we were short on offense. They knew we were short on defense. I've been speaking about defense for the life of me from beginning of the day to up to we were in the championship. Hats off to Joe Witt. With his scheme and what he had to work with, it should not be ignored. The man is a genius, but we didn't have the type of people to have that type of defense that we normally would have to go to the Super Bowl. No, let me also.
To that. I mean, that dude, he did miracles and keeping the plate spinning and whole bunch of a hocus pocus and stuff. But he got us here, with definitely not top tier talent.
Correct. And that's
yeah, we definitely need to give him his props and thanks.
Absolutely.
For, getting us there.
Absolutely. And not only that, hats off to Cliff Kingsbury. Even though the offense wasn't on point that night, but look what he accomplished on those 6 playoff wins. And that, not only that, hats off to Jaden Daniels and the offensive line for what they've done in those 6 wins is remarkable. The one thing I cannot stand, and the NFL is known for this, is the congratulations at the end. I do not like the current. I honestly, I'm the old school guy. I'm the old school guy. When we with your butt, walk off the field. If we get beat, walk off the field. Let that memory sink in. Don't handshake. Don't sit there high five. Don't change jersey. None of that. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to wear that jersey. At the end of the day, you're not going to sit there and give your son the jersey or your daughter the jersey. At the end of the day, you're not going to give it to your father or mother unless they're that Eagle fan or that opposing fan.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because there's a different world out there, man.
Listen.
I agree with you. I mean, I grew up in where it was like, professional football was a blood sport. You could get along with the other teams, enemies and all that kind of good stuff. I feel you. But it's now 2020, what? You know what I'm saying? 25. And it's just different now.
Well, let me ask you this. What did the Eagles say about Kansas City?
I do not know.
Do they hate them?
I know what they said about Washington.
Yeah, I know exactly what Jalen Hurts said about Washington. I know exactly what AJ Brown said about Washington.
Sit on the cactus.
I know exactly what the guy who smacked Aguilera in the face and had him a concussion protocol. I know.
Yeah.
I saw that loud as clear, and he didn't get penalized. I know what Brown said about Daniels. I know with I know a whole lot. Here's another thing.
I mean, I'm just making a point. You know, I'm not saying that I necessarily agree. But it's just a different age and a different time.
True.
You know, the young players are being brought up a different way.
But here's what I'm saying, and I get what your point is, and I agree with you. I'm in a different time era, but look at the bravado of I can go to another team that's not basically our team. I can go to the Ravens and Bills. Look what happened with the Ravens on the field. They didn't, and the guy who dropped the ball multiple times, who's dealing with diabetes, right? Those players did not want to shake anybody's hands. It was only a small majority of them. But they didn't even look at the dude who had diabetes because of what transpired on the field. Here's another thing. Look what the Bills did with the Chiefs. When they got off the field and Josh Allen had to do that conference, and he literally said something about the officiating, but wanted to say something even more, but held himself back. Those type of feelings should resonate with the team, and which they do, which they should. But my thing is, if you see the opposing team and this amount of stuff happen in the game, and you want to give that quarterback, that offensive line, a little dab, a little respect, yeah, man, give me your best. Give me your best. Come on, man. Let's sign your best and give it to me. Let's take a picture. Did the Bears do that to us when we beat them in the last seconds of the game? No. Did the Eagles do that? Did the Eagles do that at the last minute of the game when we beat them at home before we went to the playoffs?
They did not.
So my point is that they knew what time it was. And then here's the funny. In that game, AJ said, "Hey, listen, we'll see you in the playoffs," and walked away. And Daniel said, "Yeah, okay, we'll see you." And I just want to introduce this next caller. He is the co-host of the Enhanced Sports Show, none other than Louis Tenor. How you doing, Lou?
Thank you, Rostov.
That's what's up, man.
Here, and I plugged you into as well.
And I want to give props to when props is due.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you have a fan here who just woke up from a campbell soup nap. You did in fact pick the Eagles to beat us. And it transpired as a win. Good job, Lou. Congrats. Yeah. You were right. And I think you saw the numbers, and I did not. I respect you for doing that.
Right.
My thing is, when we were just talking about congratulating players who just beat you on your field or on the field. Do you remember of a time where, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irving, Alvin Harper, and what's that dude's name? Leon Lett were in the game, and you were on our and we just went into overtime on, I think it was RFK. No, I think it was FedEx Field, and we lost that game in overtime. Did anybody in that era high five, exchange jersey, hug each other? Do you remember that game, Lou?
I think I do. It didn't seem like, they were like, oh, there was sportsmanship at the end. You don't see a lot of that anymore.
Correct. So my thing about it is I rather have nobody shake hands because it's an NFC rivalry. Because when you have that rivalry, it means something. It doesn't mean nothing now. And when you have that rivalry and meaning people talk about it, when you hear London Fletcher, Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, and Brian Mitchell. Yeah, thank you. Brian Mitchell, he's gonna kill me. Brian Mitchell sitting there and talk about rivalry. He doesn't sit there and talking about high five. He said, no, we ain't never shake no opponent's hand after we lost. We just walk off the field and get you the next time. And that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
But now you just exchange jerseys.
I mean, to me, you know, I'm like twice as old as them dudes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're the nice ones. I mean, you want to go back to like Chris Hamburger, Kenny Houston, Sonny Jefferson, all them guys. They wouldn't talk to you for a week.
And that's what.
No, seriously. I'm serious. You know, if somebody came up there with a microphone and said, hey, let's talk about, you know, they lost to the Eagles and stuff like that, he was liable to get punched in the mouth.
That's right.
Yep.
And if we want to go further into that understanding, do everybody remember the Monday Night Massacre with Michael Vick and Deshaun? So those that right there, we didn't do nothing because they were talking trash the whole entire offseason about we're going to get destroyed. And then and when they did, because I remember D'Angelo Hall was talking about, oh, I'm gonna smack him in the mouth. I'm like, good, we rise up to the level of the occasion. But until we got on the field, it was just another day in the office with them. So this brings me back to my question. Why didn't we rise to the occasion? You know?
You mean why didn't we fight back?
No, we fought back. We just didn't fight enough.
We didn't fight enough. Let me tell you, that was below what they were doing to us.
Yeah, so, I mean, the first two quarters, they already had it planned, right? They already had it planned that we were going...
And that's why we play with ball again.
So, again, there's a lot of stuff that we have to understand. That when it comes to playing in an NFC East battle, we have to take it to them. See, when they were here at FedEx Field or Northwest, we took it to them. We understood the level of the game. We had to be the best to beat the best. At that time, right, and we didn't take it to them. See, we didn't consider them the best because we were the best because we beat them to get into the playoffs. We lost that edge. See, I like what Dan Quinn said. His messaging resonated with a lot of the team where they were at the moment. Did he resonate with the team when we went to Philly? Yes, we had the hot hands. Yes, we were the Road Warriors. But we didn't play like that. And that's where we lost the message. And when the message was lost, we got walloped 55 points.
Well, you remember the first time we went to Philadelphia and we beat them.
Yeah, the first time we
were in their zone. And I'm like,
well,
okay, where's our guys at?
But see, when we went there, remember, we had Taylor Heineke. And everybody was picking the Eagles to beat us. And we in there with Taylor Heineke, and we walloped them in the fourth quarter. That's my point. We didn't take it to them. We were just waiting. We was waiting to take away what they had, and we couldn't because they already had what we wanted already in their plans. See, we couldn't stop Saquon. Because Saquon saw a gap. When he saw the gap and all they did was push us to the right, creating a hole for him to get through. With his aloofness and his evading of one of our defenders of Bobby Wagner, all he had to do is dance to the side. Bobby Wagner had no lateral capability. Bobby Wagner is a north and south linebacker. He can't move laterally. He has to move north and south. That's his weakness. Saquon knew that. Mike Strell, the rookie, he doesn't have the strength to tackle Saquon. All he could do was get him by the ankles. Couldn't do that if he jumps. That's a weakness. Jeremy Chin is the only person who can meet you in the hole before you start. That was the problem. They had Jeremy Chin in what? Coverage. Cover 2. Spy. You cannot have somebody in spy if they pick their moments to run. That was the problem. Jeremy Chin was out of position the whole entire game.
I don't know. He's kind of light in the butt, if you ask me. I think to be like controlling the line.
Well, if he's at 5 yards into the line and he could see, he could tell Bobby Wagner to change because he could see motion. Everybody can see motion. But if you're looking at the running back's eyes, which you should, he could tell you where he's going. And that's what Saquon was doing. I think there was a game. What game was it?
Maybe.
I'm thinking
like later in the season. He's not that much experienced. You know, he's got some. But I hear what you're saying.
Who, Jeremy Chin?
I hear what you're saying. You know, and it took like everybody.
Oh no,
this
Mike.
year.
He was talking about Mike.
There's a whole new team, whole new coach, whole new everything.
True.
They had to pick up this system on the fly.
But here's my thing. We have 6 winning. We were on a 6-game winning streak. We beat the best of the best. We beat Detroit in Detroit. Yeah. We took it to Tampa. To Tampa, and Tampa was hollering, "No, you could." Just the same thing what the Bears were doing at home. And then we went into Detroit and took out Sonic and Knuckles. Well, Knuckles took himself out, but we took out Sonic.
Yeah, we did.
That was big. And then we're hitting with Philly. Philly is the dirtiest of the dirty. It's like dirty South. With the dirty. You know what I mean? We took it to them with the down. Yes, we were there. And then look what happened. We had them right where we want them. We were 23. If we would have scored a touchdown, we're 30-34, down 4. But we lost that edge second quarter.
Yeah.
They knew. So here's where my strategy comes in. When the first coin is flipped, we normally guess it right?
I don't know. With Philadelphia, I think we're out personnel.
True. No. Don't
AJ Brown on offense. They had
Eric.
Big ugly dude on defense. You know what I'm saying?
Eric,
they just had better personnel.
Eric, I agree with you. We were outgunned. We were outgunned in Detroit. We were outgunned in the Tampa, but we persevered. And the reason why we persevered,
we beat those two.
Yes, we did. We crushed them.
We outsmarted them. And you know what? We should have. And they should have.
We're talking about week 2 and week 6. We're talking about at the end of the season. Philadelphia's had all season to gel. They had what's his face on the ground. They had AJ in the air. Hurts is on a revenge mission for everybody who doubted him. It was like, by the time we met them again at the end of the season and for the playoffs, they're a totally different team than what we saw like, week 3 or 4, whatever it was.
But that's what I'm telling you. Even everything you're saying is right, Eric. Here's what I'm telling you now. Even they said Detroit was better personnel level than us, and they had a better defense. They said even though most of their pieces were missing, they were still a better team. Even though they said that, Baker Mayfield, they had the whole team humming. They had been there for 4+ years. We were never going to beat Tampa Bay. Here's the thing. What's the name? Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy was a retired Buccaneer. I think it was on NFL Network. They asked around the horn, do you think the Washington Commanders would beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And he was like, stop playing. It's a rookie against my team. Ain't no way. Ain't no way it's going to happen. I dare them. I guarantee you Baker Mayfield's going to throw his last final touchdown and beat the Commanders and send them packing, and we move on to the next round and take on Detroit. I said, wow, they really hate us. They really hate us in Tampa. And then,
Am I still here?
no,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I thought I was muted for a second. I don't know if I'm still here.
No, you good. I was going to ask you a question about your hiring of Brian Schottenheimer, but I'm going to say this. And then, yeah, I'm gonna get your take on that because I think that is the bad hire. It's really bad. But let me finish this and then we'll go to that question. Then they said that we were gonna lose to Tampa, and then we beat them, and then we move on to Detroit, and everybody literally picked Detroit over us. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're the underdogs. And then we took it to Detroit in Detroit. And I read that stat. When I read that stat, it just went, we're 4-0. We're 3-0 against them in the playoffs. Now we're 4-0. Now it just rings more true. So, like I was telling you in the monologue, hats off to Joe Witt for actually putting it to him. Now we got somebody on defense that understands the X and the O to the precise specialist that what we needed. That he's not like a Richie Pettibone. He's more like a Greg Bloch, right? He's more like a Greg Bloch with the mixture. He's like a chemist, right? He's not there yet, but when he gets the right type of chemicals, we're explosive on defense. That's what we need. And I think when we get in the draft, we might get some of those chemistry potions that we can. I shouldn't say potions. I would say more of a chemist type of chemistry set that he'll probably mix it to make an explosive defense. That's what we needed, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So, Lou, do you think Brian Schottenheimer brings that type of fire to the Cowboys to help them make them a?
Well, how do you say with someone who's never coached in the NFL? So you really can't think he's got the fire there. I mean, I think a lot of people expect him to be just like his dad, which it's a lot to live up to. I don't see it happening, right now, especially with him not being inexperienced in the NFL coaching wise.
So how many years would you give him to make this team a playoff team?
If they're going to keep him around long enough, I would have to say at least 3 years.
So who's going to be your defensive coordinator?
I think it should be determined.
So who do you want there to be your defensive coordinator?
That's a good question.
All right, man. Well, you know what? There's a lot to be answered because I was going to ask you, do you keep Dak or do you retain some of that money he got in his contract?
No, retain the money. Retain the money.
Oh my God! You hate your quarterback, God dog, man.
No, I mean
What's going to happen sooner or later? Dak is just not it.
He's not it. I mean, look, I think we expect too much of him. He was going to make promises that I didn't think he was able to keep, and I think it was a mistake to have him come back. So just retain the contract and get him out.
Oh, so you buy him out? Okay, all right, good point.
No. Well, you want to time him to go. I don't buy him. Just go.
Okay, so do you keep Cooper Rush?
Cooper, I think I would keep. I would keep more than Zach, that's for sure.
Ooh.
If I had to between the two, I keep Rush.
Ooh. So here's the $1 million question I gotta ask Lou, because Lou has been on fire during this playoff run. So do you pay Cooper Rush the big money to be from the backup to the starter?
Yes, I would.
Ooh.
That's good.
He's certainly worth it more than Zach.
Ooh. I don't know.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree. At this point for the Cowboys, Dak is a failed experiment. Keep Cooper Rush in. Let's see what he can do.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
Dad gave you 13 wins. Hold on. I gotta defend.
Marino or somebody.
Hold on.
Next Roger Staubach.
I gotta bring the little.
That cannot get it done.
But I gotta bring the little stat guy. I gotta bring the little stat guy in here. That gave you 13 wins 2 years ago. Come on now. 13 wins, and he took you to the playoffs and lost. I give you that. But he gave you 13 wins. Do you let a 13-win guy go, even though you gave him 200 plus millions of dollars? Do you let him go, who actually knows the offense? Well, he doesn't know Schottenheimer's offense, but do you give him a chance to learn the playbook? And even though he does not learn it well, do you let him go? Or do you sit him down for the rookie? Or do you get the backup to come in and play?
Get the backup.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was that during the COVID years?
No.
You went over them games?
No. The COVID years, we beat them. They were horrible. I think it was after the COVID year.
I remember their record.
After the COVID years. I think it was 2 years afterward.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after those 2 years, Dallas was 13 and maybe 5 at the time. 13 and 5. And they lost to Tampa Bay. No, they lost to Green Bay. They lost to Green Bay because Jordan Love crushed them. Yep, that's true. During that game, they had said that Jordan Love was not going to beat a more seasoned quarterback. That's what one of the analysts said in NFL Network. He was more seasoned because he's been in the game for so long, and he would not lose to Green Bay. And they lost to Green Bay. 50-something. I think it was 35. No, 40-something. 40-something, yeah. 40-something to 36.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Lou had to recite that. But the thing about it is, I would keep him and learn the Schottenheimer's playbook, and then let him go if he doesn't perform well. I wouldn't say just let him go because there's a new regime. You got to try out the will before you replace it. It's all about understanding where you're going to get, because McCarthy, he just didn't have it. McCarthy is on his way out. He should have just retired and not get another job. But I'm glad we understood. I'm glad we didn't go for him because he's not that good. He's not that good without the player that he had under the regime, and that's Aaron Rodgers. He had Brett Favre for a long time, and it worked out plenty for him. So that's a good thing. Okay. All right. So my thing about, so moving on, since we got that, we're going to go back to the Commanders and their off-season scheduling routine. So the Commanders are going to the Senior Bowl and find out who to sit with them at the 29th spot.
Did anybody watch that today?
No, I missed it myself.
Sorry.
I mean, there was a lot happening in the sports world, so I mean, I couldn't look at it either. I missed it. I was so angry. I was like, "What? That was today?" Yeah.
I'm embarrassed. I'm the one that posted it in the group, and then it's like, took a damn nap. So I have to wait for it.
I took a nap too, Eric. I took a nap too, and I woke up and I was like, "No, I missed it." Let me see if I can pull up who won.
Yeah, but nobody watches that anyway.
I know.
Oh, it'll be on NFL Network for the rest of next week, so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so let's see. I mean, I'm glad. Let's see. We definitely, so what are some of the things we need, folks? What are some of the things that we need on the Commanders side of the football that we desperately need more of?
D-line.
Absolutely.
D-line. line.
Absolutely.
We had no pass rush. I mean, like, the last game we played versus Philadelphia, I was very much pleasantly surprised that the front four showed up. They did actually put in visible effort. But we didn't have much of a pass rush all season long.
I agree.
I
agree. It was so non-existent to have it spots here and spots there when we definitely needed all 4 quarters. I totally agree with that assessment. DE all the way, every day. All right, so
I mean, Jonathan Allen, the media likes him because he's a great quote, he's friendly and all that kind of good stuff. But and I get it, he was out for like a good chunk of the season and stuff like that. But the hype for him versus the production, I can't. Hopefully, somebody else sees it besides me.
No, I totally agree with you.
I hope we don't keep him. I mean, nothing personal against the guy, but to me, it's time for somebody younger, faster, stronger, or at least somebody who can get it done.
So my thing with Jonathan Allen is that he wasn't 100% healed from that pec tear in his chest. And
if you want to talk about this season, but I'm talking about like historically.
No, I'm talking about this season.
This is a guy to me.
No, this season he came back from a season-ending muscle tear in his chest. He had the surgery, and he just went hog wild. Right. And the problem is that he rushed it back, which means that it's not 100% healed. So yeah, he's not going to be able to forego for this upcoming season in 2025-26. I think we do replace him.
You're not wrong, but his history, even before that, was not impressive to me.
Correct. I agree with you because he didn't have that rush like he did before when we went to the playoffs and lost to Tom Brady in the Buccaneer suit. I think we let him go or we trade him. I think we trade him to an AFC team. And I don't think he's gonna. I don't want him in the AFC.
That'll work.
NFC. Yeah, I definitely would trade him to the AFC team. It would probably be the Colts, for somebody or draft pick, what have you. I wouldn't put him in another uniform because he's not a viable asset. He is a liability at this point. I'll even put him. I put either Jonathan Newton into that spot where he was at because I believe that Deron Payne and Newton work well together. They spread this. I think we get. I don't know. I think we keep Bobby Wagner. I don't think Louisville is going to be back. I think Louisville, because of what he did in the game.
Throw money at him.
I mean,
what?
Because of what happened in the game. He jumped over the line 6 to 7 times, trying to stop.
Trying to tell them, here, we're going to give you what you've been giving us.
Well, I mean, just look at the stats in that game, right? He's been playing out of position.
I ain't going by stats. I'm talking about below the belt crap.
Okay, all right. No. I agree with your assessment. He's been an asset at times, but if you look at the Eagles game, he had jumped over a ton of times, giving the acquisition enough times to go up and helping the team wind down the clock each time he did it. And then they said if he does it one more time, he's out of the game.
They're going to give them the touchdown.
Right.
And he's like, well, go right ahead. You're going to do it anyway.
Right, that's true.
That's what they're saying.
And that's,
you know what? With the way the referees were with us, that's payback.
Well, they said Ed Hockley is the reason why they actually won the game. So I totally agree with that because he gave us a bonus pick, a bonus, what is it called? A bonus penalty that I never heard before. Also, he didn't call the slap that was heard around the world on Aguilarity. from the Eagle defense. The guy is what 6'5", 330 pounds. He has a massive hand that
the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
and he literally hit Aguilera so hard that he fell to the ground. He just looked at him and go, "Oh, well, I mean, I get a penalty. I guess I can sack the quarterback." So, I mean,
yeah,
the things that
but that was one game. I mean, Louisville was a presence all season long.
True.
Yeah.
Played above
he
average.
was awesome.
Yeah, he played above average. I mean, like in that game, I mean, like it was desperation time. You pull out all the stops, all the tricks, and that's what I saw that.
Well,
when he was leaping the line. Look,
true.
You know, it was more inspirational than anything else. Like, look, guys, this is it. Let's go. Let's do something. You know.
Well, I mean,
do something that was different. Do something other than they expected.
Okay, so that didn't.
It was weird. It was weird. Yes,
okay,
it was. But
okay.
I'm like, at that point,
So he was at the point where, okay, this is what you're gonna get.
Well, I mean, when he did it the first time, I was like, okay, let's get our mind in the game. Second time, it was like, oh, okay, we gambled on that. Okay, we're good. Third time, like, you know, the first two times didn't help. Why are you doing it the third time?
Yeah.
And then the fourth time, he was like, come on. And that's what I knew right then and there when he did it the fourth time.
But they didn't move.
Well, but
like
well, I mean, yeah, exactly. That's how it was.
But they did not.
It's like F it. We got to do something. F it.
Well, see, the fourth time I already knew if you do it the fourth time, you're not going to make it. You already knew that you were going to lose because at that point it was 34-23. And then when they got that touchdown, it was 40-41, and then they went for 2. And they made it. And I'm like, oh, it's on. It's over. And then they knew all they had to do was run the football because we have the worst run defense. And that's why this is how sneaky they are. So when they got towards our red zone at the opposite end of the football field, they made sure Jalen wasn't going to be touched because they knew he was going to run. So what he did was he jogged throughout the whole entire pathway to the end zone and skipped at the last minute. Remember what Joe Witt said in the press conference. If he's going to run, we're going to hit him like a runner. So what did they do? They protected him in that whole motion. So the thing I hate more than telling what you're going to do in the press conference is in the game they do the opposite of what you're going to do, and then they taunt you while doing it. But see, taunting is
They knew what we were going to do.
Exactly.
And we were not communicating like we were supposed to be doing.
That's my point.
They were not communicating. And I wanted to, never mind.
That's my point. That's my point.
They need to be smacked.
But before the game even starts, you dictate to them what you're going to do. We shouldn't do that in a game because they're more prepared than us.
Whoa, man. Yeah.
And the more prepared that they are, the more that we get frustrated when they do the little things that we do. Even okay, I'm gonna give you my point, and I'm gonna give you my 2 reasons. In the Tampa Bay game, they didn't know what we were gonna do. We knew what they were gonna do because they dictated to us, right? And in the what was it? In the Detroit game, they dictated to us what they were going to do, and we counteract them. So what they do, they mocked us by the coin toss because that was the home team, and they mocked us again at the end with Saquon. And Saquon did that little run. He thinks he was Sonic, or he's on a high wire and he's running all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need somebody like him on our offense and through the draft to replace the people that we have right now. I really think that, don't get me wrong, Brian Robinson Jr. is one heck of a runner, but he doesn't have that burst that we need. He has the power.
B-Rob was brought up. I don't know why they just put him through the middle.
Exactly my point.
Now,
Yes, that's my point.
No, you need to use him for the sides. We need to go around.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes,
But even then, that didn't work too well. I don't know what was up with B-Rob. I wanted to see McNichols more and the rookie more.
Well,
and unfortunately, by the time they got tired of B-Rob and put those two youngins in, well, actually, McNichols been around for like 6 years.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
But by the time we put them in, either the game was, over. Usually we didn't see them until like the fourth quarter. But I would love to see McNichols more as a starter. And the rookie, he did what you asked him to do. Whenever you decide to put him in.
I totally agree. So, Big Steve, you here?
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm like the Buffalo Bills. I'm trying to pay my bills, so I'm just listening to y'all.
Oh, okay. I just want to give you. I mean,
one day.
I thought. I mean, because I didn't hear you. I know I wanted your take on it. But what do you think, Big Steve? What do you think about the game?
Like I said, the mistakes. We could have won that game easily, but the fumbles and stuff, and it cost us because, like I said, and then our running game, B-Rob. I think we're gonna be getting a new running back next year. So B-Rob didn't do what he's supposed to do. So no edge rushers. Like I said, Frankie Lulu played his heart out. Trying to stop that tush push. But like I said, I'm proud of them, the way they play. I mean, like I said, they did what 29 other teams couldn't do is go to the championship game. So I'm proud of them.
Yeah, we went to the playoffs. Yeah.
Amen.
I'm not downing the defense. I think better strategy, because I'm a strategic person and I want to see them execute the strategy to the T. I think we got I wouldn't say bamboozled on the play calling. I mean, on the penalties. I think we went into a hostile environment expecting what we got in our previous games. I didn't see too many of us in the stands. I see more of the Eagles fans. I want it to be like a moment where we punish, but that's where
we needed our fans.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
I mean, big time.
We got 7 minutes. I want to go ahead and see if we can go through this.
We weren't going to get our fans there, not for the NFC Championship.
I know, and that's why I feel like we were cheated, because most of our fans were in the parking lot cheering us on, and that's why I feel like the message was lost in space. We gotta have a better strategy when we play next year.
Pray for Philadelphia. Pray for Philadelphia. I pray for DC.
Okay. She just woke up from her Kamasuit dream. I'm sorry, but if we go through.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had a couple disasters here over the last 48 hours. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think that was so shocking to have that crash in DC and that crash in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia,
yeah. It was shocking. We actually,
because, last night was out with some friends, and we were going with the generator. Well, there was no power, so we had to find something else to go. Like, even though that Philadelphia is like 100 miles away from us, it still had an effect here.
Wow.
I saw a video where a man was on fire.
Okay,
Right.
so We got 6 minutes. I'm gonna see if we can get more of the sports in, and pray for the families of those who lost a loved one in those crashes this year.
Amen.
So the Wizards on a losing streak. Of course, they lost to the Lakers 136-96. LeBron James had 24 points, 11 rebounds. It wasn't a stellar game because they didn't have AD. It wasn't really a game because I feel like every time we have these moments where he can't have what he has, he gets a frustration. He gets this little tear tantrum. I believe when Bradley Beal and then John Wall were here and we were punishing teams, and he stepped on the outside boundary line and shot that three for the win, and everybody knew that he was on that line, and he was like, well, the game's over. Oh, well, right? So this is just one of those moments where he can take it to Washington and nobody can ever say anything. But watch out for Jimmy Butler and Golden State Warriors, because if the Golden State Warriors get Jimmy Butler, they are an NBA Finals team to play against the Bucks. I think they probably get Jimmy Butler and be in the finals to beat the Celtics. I think they would beat the Lakers handily, because even though if JJ Redick is the coach, doesn't mean nothing. If you got Jimmy Butler, once they get Jimmy Butler, I think everything would be all right. Moving forward, hats off to the Washington Capitals. The Washington Capitals, Ovi is closer to Wayne Gretzky's record than ever. If he surpassed Wayne Gretzky, I tell you, the people in the hockey fans are going to go nuts. And my hat's going to be. I'm gonna get his. Like I said, I'm gonna get his jersey regardless. And I hope they get it. And I'm gonna get the all red one, because I want his name to be in blue, because I believe this guy is 100% lethal. Let's go.
They're doing really well, the Caps, right about now. I mean, like their goalie Logan Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
He's standing on his head. I mean, he really is. Like for the month, he's got like about 8 wins and no losses and a tie.
And that's awesome.
Right. I need to pay more attention to that, because they're not. It's just a different type of team, different type of leadership. I think in the coaching, and that sort of thing, and the promotion. It's not like back in the day where we had, our boy Holtby and everybody. He was everybody's little brother. We loved him to death, literally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they're leading the division. I mean, like they're rolling. Ovi's getting his, and it's a very good shot that he'll get it this year. I just need to pay more attention so I can bring it to the panel here.
You mean both.
Props to them.
You mean both. And also hats off to the Maryland Terrapins beating the Wisconsin Badgers, the number 17 seed, with a score of 68-76, beating a top-tier team at home in Cold Fieldhouse. I am 100%. Really love this team and the grit. McQueen, Rice, and the little guy. Oh man, this game is getting intense. I'm gonna have to take a drink. Anyway, with that being said, we got 2 minutes to go. Let's revisit this thing. Hats off.
Love to the Lady Terps.
The Lady Terps too. Absolutely, that's right. The Lady Terps are on fire as well. Even though they lost to one of I think it was UCLA, but they actually came back with another win themselves. Listen, hats off to the Lady Terps. They're going to go to the NCAA tournament, and they're probably going to win it this year. I'm literally so happy to say this. Who has the Super Bowl predictions of the week? Let's go with Lou and end with Big Steve. I'll tell you who I got next. Go ahead. Lou. Eagles. What you got, Coach? Chiefs. Okay, Eric.
I'm going with the Eagles, but we'll see what the refs do.
True. Big Steve.
between the rest, believe me.
Big Steve.
I'm gonna go with Chiefs. Chiefs in the rest.
I got the Chiefs with the big upset, 27-13. I want to thank Lou,
You forgot
Coach.
You
No,
forgot me.
no, I didn't.
Pick it.
No, I'm not
Pick
giving.
it.
No.
Eagles
Coach.
got a much more balanced offense, much more balanced team. They should win.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, Coach Eric and Big Steve. I want to thank all of you for coming in, and I want to thank
We
you
love you,
guys.
Cost Town.
No, go to sleep. All right, be safe, everybody. God bless you. Hearing first, everything second, and you're and God bless. All right, bye.
Penis.
Thanks for you coming in and entertaining us, and make sure that you come in next Saturday where we'll discuss more about the Super Bowl and more about Commanders, Wizards, Orioles, and Capitals, and more about you. Also, be safe. You're human first, everything second. You're conquerors by definition, so go conquer your dreams. Peace.